that Entertainment Weekly has already called one of the 10 best albums of the year. There's nobody like her at all. And in fact, I'm pretty sure she was a special cameo guest on the television show Nashville, weren't you? She was. Everybody's guilty pleasure, terrific show. And there was Mary Gauthier, which made me take Nashville very seriously, the television show, because if she's on it, you know it's good. Please welcome Mary Gauthier.
y'all so much. Thank you very much. I do have a new project out that just came out this year. It's a collection of songs I've co-written with veterans and sometimes with their wives. And so I'm working with an organization called Songwriting with Soldiers, and what we do is go to a retreat center with 6 to 10 veterans, a lot of them wounded and struggling with the wounds of war, physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, and 4 songwriters. And what we do is we bear witness in non-judgment, and we take the stories that we're told and turn them into songs. They're co-writes, so the veterans participate in the publishing, and we've got almost 500 songs now. I think we do have the Civil War diaries of this 18-year-old conflict that we're in the Middle East that nobody can exactly tell us why. So I'm going to go ahead and just go straight into some of these songs because that's really, I think, why we're here. This first song is the title track. The record is called Rifles and Rosary Beads. It came out of something a soldier told me. I asked this young man, Joe Costello, what he saw when he landed in Fallujah. He was 19 years old, and he had no idea what to expect when he got there. When I got him, he was in his mid-20s, but he looked 50, and he was really struggling with a lot of trauma. He had trouble making eye contact. We sat in the room together, and he was clearly in a lot of pain. Lines in his face were so deep, and the struggle was so real. So I just asked him what he saw when he got over there. I've never been to Iraq, and I've never been to war. And what he told me, we turned into the song called Rifles and Rosary Bead. He said he saw yellow smoke and orange haze. It was everywhere. And since we've written this song, I've met so many vets with the same story, yellow smoke, orange haze. I even met a veteran with a yellow and orange tattoo with a helicopter landing on his forearm, yellow smoke, orange haze. He said whistling sunset bombs would come in every night. Then he looked at me and said I couldn't trust the sky, and that's when I started typing. I wrote down what he said. He said there were bombed out schools, bombed out homes. He said there were guys holding their rifles so tight their knuckles were white. He said there were other guys with rosary beads in their hands and they were praying. He said there were little kids in the street alone with no adults. The kids were crying in the street, and the soldiers couldn't comfort them because they didn't know if it was safe to do so and they were ordered not to. What he told me became this song. I should tell you that Joe's gone on to go back to college. And he finished his degree at UT, moved to Kalamazoo, got a master's degree. Now he's working on his doctorate. He's doing real good. He's helping people in the medical profession to understand how to use art to transform trauma. Rifles and rosary beads, you hold on to what you need. Vicodin, morphine dreams, rifles, rosary beads, yellow smoke, orange haze, blowing into my eyes, whistling sunset bombs. I couldn't trust the sky. Rifles and rosary beads, you hold on to what you need. Vicodin, morphine dreams, rifles, rosary beads. White knuckles wrapped around blackness that has no sound. bombed out schools and homes, kids in the street, long rifles and rosary beads. You hold on to what you need, the Vicodin, morphine dreams, rifles and rosary beads. Mirrors frighten me. I don't recognize what I see. The stranger with blood on his hands. Sister, I'm not that man. Rifles and rosary beads. You hold on to what you need. Vicodin, morphine dreams, rifles and rosary beads, rifles and rosary beads. You hold on to what you need. So we sent females into combat officially in 2005. I've co-written a lot of songs with females who have seen combat. This next song was written with a young woman named Brandy Davidson. She served in Iraq in the Army, and she was a large engine mechanic and one of the first women to be such a thing. Now, I know I stand before you looking like I could be a large engine mechanic, but Brandy don't look that way. She's a much smaller female, and she really got into a situation over there where there was a tremendous amount of sexual harassment going on. And what she told me made my hairs on my arms stand up when she said, "Mary, to be honest with you, my enemy was not Iraq." And so we wrote this song. It's called Iraq. I was an army mechanic. I worked with the men. I worked on my bike. I tried to fit in. Torque wrenches and wrenches, multimeters and the scales. Grease on my face, grease on my hands, grease under my nails. And it was so hard to see until it attacked. But my enemy wasn't Iraq. Soldiers bartered and traded. That's the way our world worked. Trading favors for favors in the sand and the dirt. But I wouldn't give them. They try to take. And when I refused them, they made me pay. And it was so hard to see until it attacked. But my enemy wasn't Iraq. stood my ground. I didn't give in. I drew a line again and again. When they whistled and whispered, when the wind kicked up dust, I'd look to the sky, ask the Lord why I had no one to trust. So hard to see till it attacked. But my enemy wasn't Iraq. A salute and a wink, a little pat on my back. My enemy wasn't Iraq. So we're going to sing you a song now that was co-written with 6 veterans' wives. And as I sat down and asked them about what their lives were like, they described to me what I heard them say was there's a war after the war, and they're dealing with it in their homes. And so it's an incredible thing that we haven't really heard a lot from the perspective of the wives, particularly from Hollywood and the movies and TV. If we were to ask our veterans' wives what's going on, I think they would have plenty to say. It's just nobody's asking them. So this is from their perspective. It's a group, right? And it's called The War After the War. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. Who's gonna care for the ones who care for the ones who went to war? There's landmines in the living room, eggshells on the floor. I lost myself in the shadow of your honor and your pain. You stare out of the window as our dreams go down the drain. Invisible, the war after the war. I get no basic training, I get no Purple Heart. I am supposed to carry on, I can't fall apart. People look at you and thank you for the sacrifice you made. They look at me and smile, say I'm lucky, you're okay. Invisible, the war after the war. But I'm a soldier too, just like you, serving something bigger than myself. I serve unseen, caught in between my pain and the pain of someone else. But I'm stronger than Okay, this next song I co-wrote with a fellow named Jamie Trent who served in Desert Storm, and he told me that on Veterans Day in the United States of America, if you have an active duty military ID and you live near a Waffle House, you get to have free breakfast, which is real nice of the Waffle House people, but there's also something kind of, I don't know, I guess maybe I was thinking they should at least get Red Lobster or something. So anyway, I said, hey man, let's just put you in the Waffle House on Veterans Day. You tell me what it feels like. And what I got was a description, a very clear description of someone with mixed feelings. So I'm someone, I stand before you as someone who's done over a decade of therapy. And I went to therapy one day, and my therapist told me, Mary, I think we're done. I think you're there. And I was so happy to hear that. So I asked her, what the hell did I do to cause me to be done? And she said, you are now capable of ambivalence. And I thought that was real exciting, except I didn't know what the word meant. So I asked her to give me some description of what she meant, and she said, you're capable of feeling opposite things simultaneously now. You know, the great Bruce Springsteen said, I got into songwriting because human beings can be both happy and sad at the same time, and I find that incredibly interesting. So this song is written from the perspective of a soldier on Veterans Day who's got conflicted feelings, and I think Jamie and I put together a pretty interesting story for y'all. It's called Bullet Holes in the Sky. It's the 11th of November, Nashville, Tennessee. Free breakfast at the Waffle House if I show 'em my ID. A parade up on the riverfront, you can hear the trumpets play. Hands on hearts, the color guard kicks it off on Veterans Day. And they thank me for my service and wave those little flags. They genuflect on Sundays, and yes, they'd send us back, but I believe in God and country, and in the angels up on high, and in heaven shining down on us through bullet holes in the sky. Mm-hmm. 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 The waitress asked me how I'm doing, but I don't know what to say. I was thinking about the battlefield, the night I learned to pray. Marchers make their way down Main Street, the crowd begins to cheer. I feel my chest explode and my eyes fill up with tears as they thank me for my service and wave their little flags. They genuflect on Sundays, and yes, they send us back, but I believe in God and country, and in the angels up on high, and in heaven shining down on us through bullet holes in the sky. Mm-hmm. 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 Well, Jesus said, forgive them. They don't know what they do. He's here with me this morning, and his words still ring true. I hang my head, pray for those we lost and those who remain. As the clouds burst over Nashville, it begins to rain, and they thank me for my service and wave their little flags. strict on Sundays, and yes, they'd send us back, but I believe in God and country, and in the angels up on high, and in heaven shining down on us through bullet holes in the sky, and in heaven shining down on us through bullet holes in the sky. Oh, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Thank y'all so much. This next song is co-written with a female Marine who's also a flight instructor. She did 2 tours of duty in Iraq, and she wanted to write a song when we sat down to write about the crisis of veteran suicide. She has the distinction of being the co-pilot of the first ever all-female crew to fly a U.S. president. They flew Barack Obama on Chopper 1, and history was made. Her name is Jennifer Marino, and what she told me is that the skill set that they've been required to master that will save them in the battle are the exact things that can trip them up when they come back home. So we are indeed in a crisis of veteran suicide right now, and this helped me to understand a little bit more about what's going on. It's called Soldiering On. I was bound to something bigger and more important than a single human life. I wore the uniform with honor. My service was not a sacrifice. And what saves you in the battle can kill you at home. A soldier, soldiering on. You don't fight for yourself, you fight for the ones by your side. And they do the same for you. And to live, you must be willing to die. And what saves you in the battle can kill you at home. A soldier, soldier on. Suck it up, shut it down. It don't matter how you feel. Mission first, just drive on. A soldier is a cog inside a wheel. Up and down, all for one. The closest family I have known. A soldier, soldier. and more important than a single human life. I wore the uniform with honor. My service was not a sacrifice. But we'll save you in the battle, kill you at home. A soldier, soldier. From Brescia, Italy, on the viola and violin, Michele Gauthier. Singing the beautiful parts on the left from Waco, living in Austin, Texas. This is the great Jamie Harris. I'm going to do one more wives song. This is Soldier's Wives song. This is written with EOD wives. If you don't know what EOD is, I didn't either until I started this work. EOD stands for Explosive Ordnance Disposal. And these are the women and men who are trained to deactivate live bombs. Each division of the military has EOD, and I sat down with EOD wives, 6 of them, and asked them how in God's name can they live in that kind of a situation with so much pressure on their marriage. And they said what they do is look out for each other. The women have each other's back, they look after each other's kids, and the relationships last a lifetime. This is the EOD Wives song. It's called Stronger Together, because they told me, Mary, we're stronger together. They say no man's left behind, but that ain't true. And they hate it that they need us, but they do. They lose their fingers, lose their limbs. We try to love them back together again. They say no man's left behind, but that ain't true. And they're hurt in places that the eye can't see. We miss the man our husbands used to be. When the military breaks their heart, we're there. When they fall apart, they're hurt in places that the eye can't see. But we're stronger together. Sisters forever. We are stronger together. Sisters together. And we focus on the good, that's all we've got. It don't look like much, but we know it's a lot. Every time he says goodbye, could be the last time we see him alive. We focus on the good, that's all we've got. EOD wives don't sit by the phone. No news is good news back at home. When he's mission ready at his best, we take care of all the rest. EOD wives don't sit by the phone. And we're stronger together. sisters, forever we are stronger together, sister, forever. All right. So yeah, it's called Rifles and Rosary Beads, the name of the record, and it's 11 songs written with members of the military and their spouses. The organization is called Songwriting with Soldiers. It's a nonprofit. If you have a veteran in your life who's struggling, we are funded, and we can get them into a weekend retreat and get a song written with them with very, very great accuracy at no charge. Just got to get there. So you let me know if you got somebody, and I'll get them into a retreat. I'll make sure it happens. Songwritingwithsoldiers.org. I'm going to play a song now I wrote back in 2002, and I couldn't have known what we'd be dealing with here in 2018, but apparently the song knew. This is called Mercy Now. Well, my father sure could use a little mercy now. The fruits of his labor falling right slowly on the ground. His work is almost over, won't be long, he won't be around. I love my father, he could use some mercy now. And my brother sure could use a little mercy now. He's a stranger to freedom, shackled to his fear and doubt. The pain that he lives in, it's almost more than living will allow. I love my brother, he could use some mercy now. My church and my country, man, they could use a little mercy now. As they sink into a poisoned pit, it's gonna take forever to climb out. They carry the weight of the faithful who follow them down. I love my church and country, they could use some mercy now. Every living thing could use a little mercy now. Only the hand of grace can end the race towards another mushroom cloud. There's people in power who'll do anything to keep their crown. I love life, life itself could use some mercy now. We all could use a little mercy now. Oh, I know we don't deserve it, but we need it anyhow. We hang in the balance, we dangle between hell and hallowed ground. And every single one of us could use some mercy now. Yes, every single one of us could use some mercy now. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much. Well, thanks for having us. We're going to play one more for you and then clear the stage. It's been a real thrill for us to play up here on the big stage with you and before you. I guess not with you, but for you, before you. We're going to end on a song that was written a long time ago. When it's done, like all the artists, I'm going to go to the tent and be happy to sign stuff for you if you'd like. I'll sign anything except body parts. Yeah, I did. I had a bad experience a little while ago around that, and yeah. Before I quit therapy, she taught me about this boundary thing, and so I'm practicing on that. This song was written in 1940 by the great Woody Guthrie. It's probably been sung on this stage more than any other song, I would reckon. And it's a relevant song today. I feel like this song is more important now than it's ever been. I put a little bit of a sad spin on it because I'm Mary Gauthier and that's what I do. I think that it can be done a lot of ways, and I think right now, in the time we live in, I think singing it with meaning is kind of cool. We play it around the world, and people in other countries are singing it back to me in a beseeching way, if you know what I mean. They're begging us not to give up. So let's sing it for all the people out there who are military families and those who've served, and thank them for their service. And remember who we are. This land is your land, and this land is my land. You can sing with us if you know the words. I was walking a ribbon of highway, saw above me the endless skyway, saw below me the golden valley. This land was made for you and me. I've roamed and rambled, followed my footsteps o'er the sparkling sands of our diamond deserts, and all around me a voice was shouting, this land was made for you and me. Here we go now. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Islands, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. The sun was shining, I was strolling, wheat fields waving, and dust clouds rolling. A voice was chanting as the fog was lifting. This land was made for you and me. All right now. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Highlands, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. In the shadow of the steeple, I saw my people by the relief office. I saw my people, they stood there hungry, so I stood there asking, was this land made for you and me? Nobody living can make me turn back as I go walking that freedom highway. Nobody living can ever make me turn back. I still believe this land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. Was a big high wall there. It tried to stop me. Sign was painted, said private property, but on the back side didn't say nothing. That side was made for you and me. All right, now here we go. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. You guys take it away. This land. Oh, this land was made for you and me. All of us. Thank you, Philadelphia Folk Festival, for inviting us this year. We're grateful. Jamie Harris, Michele, Gauthier, thank you.
Mary Gauthier.